What's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than what I normally do, and that's comparing two tools that you can use for recovering faster in pickleball. If you've been to an APP tournament, then I'm sure you've seen the Air Relax booth with the big inflatable legs. Every time I've walked by this booth, I've been very curious about how well these actually work. I play pickleball anywhere between 3 to 5 days a week and for several hours at a time. So if these really worked, then I wanted them so that I could start feeling better on the court. Full disclosure, I was intending to buy this myself, but I reached out to Air Relax and asked if they would like to trade one unit for a comparison video of their two models, since I was going to do it myself anyways. As always, all of the opinions are my own, and I wouldn't have reached out to them if this wasn't something I was already going to buy myself. In this video, I'm going to be comparing their 3.0 Plus model against their Pro 4.0. The 3.0 Plus can be purchased for $645, and the Pro 4.0 is currently on sale for $995, but the normal price is $1250. Starting with the 3.0 Plus, in the box you receive the legs, power adapter, and the control unit. The control unit is not touchscreen, but has these buttons at the front of the screen that you use to adjust your settings. You have the on-off button, your modes for how the chambers will react, target, which selects which of the 4 chambers are active, a time button, which will alternate between 15 or 30 minutes, and finally, you have a button to adjust your 4 pressure settings. And the first day that I tried this, I set it to number 2, and I literally thought my legs were going to explode because of how hard it was squeezing them. But as I've used it more, I've actually worked up to full strength, and sometimes I wish it could even squeeze tighter. So just be aware that the first time you try these, you're gonna wanna build up the pressure, and I would not recommend going all the way to the top. On the 3.0, you have 4 options for how the chambers will massage your leg: progressive, sequential, full massage, and target. Progressive will fill up 2 chambers at a time, and then once it gets to the 3rd, it will release the first one. Once it gets to 4, it releases the second one, and then starts over. Sequential will fill up each chamber one at a time and squeeze until all of them are full, and then deflate all at the same time. Full massage will inflate all the chambers at once and then deflate them all at the same time. Finally, for target, you can select specific areas that you want squeezed. As you press the button, it will cycle between your options and highlight what will inflate. In target mode, it will fill up 1 chamber at a time until they are full and then release them. Just like sequential does, but now you get to choose which chambers are inflating. Now let's talk about the Pro 4.0. In the box, you receive a carrying case, the hose, the legs, control unit, and a power cable. You also have the option to purchase a separate battery bank that you can use to power these outside of your home, but personally, I can't imagine using these in places where I wouldn't have access to a wall outlet. So it is nice that they make this a separate add-on rather than just building it into the cost, and may be something that you don't use that often. One of the first things that you'll notice is that the Pro 4.0 has a big touchscreen display to adjust your settings. One of the first things you'll see is that you have much more fine control over the pressure levels. It ranges from 4 all the way up to 17, which gives you much more precise control over the pressure levels when compared to the 3.0. You can set a timer from 1 minute all the way up to an hour and 35 minutes. You also have 4 modes, which range from sequential, progressive, drain, and overlay. Sequential and progressive function identically to the 3.0. Overlay is the same as full massage, and drain is a combination of sequential and progressive. You can also disable certain chambers on the boot by holding your finger down on one of the chambers on the screen, which would be similar to the target mode on the 3.0. On the 4.0, you have 6 chambers instead of 4, which can make the boot feel a bit more comfortable as it's starting to squeeze your leg. You can also see here that you have 2 zipper options, one that's a tighter fit and one that's a looser fit. I think it's great that they provide this as an option for different people to be able to use the boot. So those are the primary differences between the 2 units. Most of it really comes down to quality of life features. The 6 chambers felt more comfortable on the 4.0. Being able to set the timer for longer than 30 minutes was great while I was trying to relax after a long pickleball session. The touchscreen felt faster to navigate. The additional zipper on the 4.0 makes it more versatile for different people, and traveling with the 4.0 was much easier with the included carrying case. I took both units down to Nashville while filming with James Ignatowicz, and packing the 4.0 was very simple, while the 3.0 I had to try and make fit inside one of my pickleball bags. So how good are these actually for recovery? The very first time I got to use these, I had just finished a team-style pickleball tournament where I played from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. There was very little seating at this tournament, and I played somewhere between 12 to 14 matches that day. So I was basically standing for most of the day. My legs were absolutely killing me, and I had to compete again in men's double the following day at 6 a.m. To me, this was going to be the ultimate test of if these worked or not. So when I got home, I did about 45 minutes in the 3.0 plus, and when I got out, my legs felt incredible. I seriously felt like I could get back on the court and start playing again. I woke up the following morning a little bit sore, but not anywhere near what I would have expected to feel after that long of a previous day. I managed to go through the entire men's doubles day feeling absolutely great, and I attribute all of that to the Air Relax boots. I've tried to use these as much as I possibly can after my pickleball sessions, and consistently I feel more refreshed and ready for the next day. Now, I have read that there are debates about whether or not these types of boots actually help you recover faster, but in my personal experience, I feel that they work great. There's a noticeable difference in how my body feels when I'm not using them on a regular basis. One thing I do want to say is that initially I expected these to feel like those massage chairs, but that's not really what this is in my opinion. It took a few sessions of using it before I started to really enjoy it. The best way I can describe it is similar to a blood pressure monitor where it's going to squeeze and hold that pressure for a bit and then release it. After using it for a while, I have come to really enjoy the feeling of when the boots release the air and I can feel the blood circulating through my legs. But just be aware that if you're expecting this to be more like a massage, that's not really what these are. Now, there are two things that I think people should be aware of when buying either of these units. One, be aware that if you get the 3.0 and don't have a bag to store it in, it can be a bit cumbersome having it around the house. I live in an apartment and found that if I wasn't packing it up, it took up a fairly obnoxious amount of space. With the 4.0, I was able to pack it right into the case, which was quite handy. The deflate feature of the 4.0 was actually incredibly helpful for packing them away. On the 3.0, you have to let gravity do the work, which takes a long time to get the air out, or you have to manually press them down and squeeze the air out of the tubes, which is a bit time consuming. So I will say that the deflate feature is very helpful and I would not overlook it. So the big question is, are these devices worth it? And honestly, that's a very hard question to answer for each of you. For myself, I think the Pro 4.0 would absolutely be worth $1,000. The main reason I can say that though is because my job is creating pickleball content, which means I'm on the court a lot. If I'm not on the court, I can't make content. So if there's a device that can consistently make me feel better during the week while I play, then a $1,000 one-time purchase would definitely be worth it. I really think these devices are going to benefit coaches and pickleball players who are very serious about their training. If you're more of a casual player, I don't think you'd see enough use out of these to make it worth it. I also think that if you're interested in these, the 3.0 Plus model would be perfectly adequate. The 4.0 really does add a lot of nice quality of life features that I think are beneficial and worth the price, but if your only goal is to recover a little bit faster for 30 or so minutes, then I think the 3.0 model does that great. After using both of these quite a bit, I didn't find that I got a better recovery out of one over the other. It was just a little bit nicer to use the 4.0 on a regular basis. I think for most people, the extra $400 to $600 that you'll spend on the 4.0 probably isn't going to feel worth it. So there you guys go. Those are my thoughts on the Air Relax recovery boots. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.